It's Sunday today, right?
Yeah, today's Sunday.
Did you watch any football games today?
Yeah, I was watching the Niners game and saw a little bit of the Raiders game in the morning.
Oh yeah. I think they were pretty close games. Like
It took a while for the Niners to score their touchdown. They got one, and then they got some at the end in the fourth quarter.
Well, I didn't get home till like 5:30 last night, so I missed like most of it until the fourth quarter.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, dude. Let's start talking about sports, and let's make this an out of the box episode.
I'm down.
All right, bet. This is your boy Maui,
And this is Bambi.
and this is
Couch Surfing. You think it's going to affect Clay when he comes back? Because I don't know if he's going to start the season, but do you think it's going to affect him?
Well, here's the thing: is like they're paying like, as a basketball player, you're paying like top end sports.
Yeah. But I'm saying just like in terms of because he's a defender, right? Like versus KD, like his lateral quickness.
I don't know. Like it's more mental. It really is. Like,
especially for him because he was trying to come back and then got hurt again. So now he's got to trust his body to not get hurt.
Well, that's what happened to me in soccer. I came back from my first knee injury.
Yeah.
Literally first day of practice, I made a hard turn because like I got cleared for everything, so I went 100%. They didn't say I couldn't. So I was going 100% practice because I wanted to see if I still had it. Dude, I was fucking... I didn't lose it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I trained my legs every fucking day.
You got to go hard for the PT to even make it back.
Yeah, so that was the thing. Was I went super hard in PT and I'd do extra stuff. Not on my legs alone. Because,
just like overall body,
But I was like just getting fit, ready. Like, this ain't going to stop me. My first day back into practice, I fucking tweaked my knee. And it was like the same pain of my ACL, so I had to tear it again.
You're like, yeah.
And I didn't. They said I loosened up the ligament, so it's not torn, but like it's
like partially.
Yeah, they like we can't really do anything about it. So if it tears, then come talk to us. And I was like, well, that's not reassuring.
So then, like, what did you do? You just didn't play, or like?
Well, yeah, pretty much. I was like, that's it. I don't want to fucking have to go through that surgery again. I was like,
so you kept just doing PT at home, or what? Like just,
a little bit, but at the same time, I just want to stay off of it.
Yeah, just to give it rest.
Yeah. So it was like a 6 to 10 month recovery,
right.
And I was like, I'm not going through that shit again, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not like fucking. I went through it once, and that was good enough for me. So I was like, I'm not gonna play. And then my coach dragged me back out to play, and so I just put like a big brace on, like not a big one, but like
the ones that have like the stable.
Yeah, because I did not want to get injured.
I feel like playing with the brace though is kind of ass, right?
It does. Yeah. It is.
It like restricts your movement and everything, but I mean, obviously it protects you. But like,
yeah. So that was the thing was like I mentally, if I didn't play with my brace, because
you weren't gonna be able to play 100%. Yeah.
Like mentally, like I could have probably been fine. It probably was just like a freak little accident. I could have been perfectly fine. But mentally, I was like, nah, like I'm not having this happen to me again. So, but then again, yeah, like I wasn't at my peak speed with it. Just because, I don't know, it was like lunky.
Yeah.
Lunky.
It's just a little heavier. You're not used to wearing it.
It kind of threw me off a little bit. But, like, I played like a fucking animal.
Yeah.
Once I had that brace on, I felt invincible.
Like,
in the sense of, like, I played at, like, what I used to play at. Just at, like...
A little slower.
Yeah, sacrificing a little speed for, like, my game mentality. I'll do that any day of the week. Now I play with a compression sleeve, so like and even then I usually don't use a compression sleeve, but like I've been having leg injuries because I haven't been working out.
Yeah, and you've been playing soccer all the time, so like
soccer, fucking basketball, and I have to work. I'm on my feet every day.
Just like overtime, just like your knee, just taking too much. Yeah,
and cold when the weather gets cold because like they fucking cut my leg open. Like I get like it's like constricting pains. Like it just feels like everything's constricting. It gets achy. That's annoying.
One of my old coworkers got in like an accident with a semi, and they had to like redo like some of his leg or whatever. Yeah. So he has like pins, but he says like during the winter he has to like warm up his legs, or else he can't just like go to work and like just be lifting stuff. He's got to warm up his legs and stuff.
That's my dad too, because he got into a motorcycle accident and broke his left. It was his collarbone and his hip on the same side. Yeah. So he was in a wheelchair for a while, and same thing. They did put plates in him.
Damn.
Same thing. Like on cold days, like that shit hurts. But that makes sense though, because like, when metal gets cold, it like it starts fucking shivering.
And it's like touching,
and that's like on direct contact with your muscles and body. It's gonna constrict those muscles. I mean, at least that's the way I figure it. I don't know if that's right, but like that's how I've made.
I just don't get how it stays like good in your body for so many years. Like, how does it not deteriorate in your body?
Right.
Like, I guess there's like some pins or whatever, like over time they just fuse or something. I don't know how like that stuff works.
Some use biodegradable screws. So like for my knee, that's what they did. To keep the tendon in place, right, they had to screw it down.
Yeah.
And so they just used biodegradable screws that would like pretty much form into my bone and just become part of my leg. So
Got it.
I don't know if they did that with, I don't know how they...
Because I know like for stitches and stuff, they have ones that they just like, you don't have to pull them out. They just kind of like... Dissolve, yeah. But yeah, I always wondered like how they do that with people when they have like screws and stuff. Like,
yeah, I have no idea.
Like rust or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, blood's not H2O, right? So like, I don't know. Iron doesn't rust iron, right?
No, iron does rust iron, right? I thought that's the only way.
No, the way iron rusts is through oxidation.
Oh, okay.
So that's like being susceptible to oxygen.
Yeah,
and then water, like having water on it, is just more oxygen on it because it's H2O.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So, well, I'm not sure because like your red blood cells, right? Your blood cells literally they transport oxygen throughout your body.
Yeah.
So it is floating with oxygen in a sense, in the form of red blood cells carrying it. So.
Yeah, I don't know how they like figured that out. It's crazy.
But then again, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard because I don't know if it's like technically oxidating.
Yeah, it's not like a direct contact with like air.
Yeah, since your body's a closed system.
I wonder too, like when someone like dies and stuff, like they probably remove your plates before they bury you and shit, huh?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, it depends because like, again, if you donate your body, they'll like.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They'll do certain things for it. Right? So they'll like, either like. I've seen an autopsy, like not live, but like through a video for my EMT class. And they'll literally just gut you like a fish, dude. It's not like
they call it like dressing, but like
it's not like that little like you see on TV where they're like, all right, I'm gonna make this.
Bro, I don't know.
No, this guy was like a fucking like a butcher chef. Like he's just like boom, pull that down, and he has to explain everything.
Yeah,
this is autopsy. All right, I'm gonna take the liver, take a slice so we can examine that. Boom, literally just like throwing it aside like it was nothing. It was pretty like.
It's crazy, yeah.
Some people were freaking out because they're like, "What the fuck?" Like, it's a dead body, but like
But that's their job. Like that's what they gotta do.
I was like, exactly. I was like, this guy's been doing this for a living.
I'm sure, like the first month, he was probably like, "What the hell?" But then after that, he's just like,
yeah.
Because there's like a video on YouTube where it's like this guy who basically does that, but he just talks about like myths about like what actually happens, and he like debunks stuff. And I guess one question he got asked was like, when you actually like see someone pass away and stuff, does it even affect you anymore? And he was like, it's kind of tricky because like you kind of do lose, like you become desensitized after a while because you just see dead bodies all the time.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm kind of desensitized already, but it's not because I've seen dead bodies.
It's just you probably like lost people.
I just process it differently. You know what I mean? Like I don't go like, oh, he's gone from the world. Like no, like he's probably in a.
Yeah, I feel like some
like cliche. He's in a better place.
Yeah.
I like to think on positive thoughts. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, like some people think about all the regrets they have for not saying certain things to that person, or else you could just look at the other side and say like, oh, all the memories we made.
But that's why people get so sad about it. I think not all the time. Right? I don't speak like for everybody, but for like a good amount of people, like they won't admit it because sometimes they don't even notice. But like they get sad because they wanted to spend more time, or they left things unsaid. You know, there's something in there that made me like, I still needed to see that person. Like for me, it's like if I died today or if that person died today, did I leave things on good terms if I never saw them again? Yeah, all right then. Right? Am I gonna mourn their loss? Of course, but at the same time, like life goes on. Like, doesn't stop.
And no one lives forever. Not like Benjamin Button out here.
Not yet. Or not that we know of.
Yeah, it's like that one song, I don't know if you remember it, like Say What You Need to Say, where they have like the dude in like I think it's Morgan Freeman's in there, or like in that clip or whatever. Yeah, from that movie. But If you just tell people what you have on your mind, you don't have to regret it later.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I wish I said I love you. I wish I said goodbye. I wish I gave her that hug. It's like I gave her millions of hugs. You know, I gave that person millions of goodbyes. Like even though they didn't hear it on their last words with me, like
I feel like people like emphasize that last breath thing a little too much. Like not every single person is gonna be with you on your last breath. That's
it's not
possible.
For the person who's dying. It's always for yourself. It's kind of in a sense selfish.
Yeah.
Right, because
like you want your closure.
No one has a clue what happens after death. No one. So when you say that last goodbye stuff, when you say like the last words or like the last moments, like it's sentimental, but it's really for you, not for the person on their deathbed.
Well, yeah, because they're just like they probably know like they're
Did you ever know like? I mean, it's good to think that hopefully they take that memory with them, but like in your life, their memories are gone. You only have your own memories now. You can't refer to that person's memories because they're not here.
Yeah, I feel like it's like the same thing with anything. Like the first few months, maybe the first year, it's like rough, but after a while, you just get used to like normal life. Mm-hmm. Maybe there might be instances where you're like, oh, this person really liked this, and it reminds you of them. But like,
it happens all the time for me. Like anything like Hawaiian, I always think of my uncle.
Yeah.
I don't get sad. I actually get joyful because I'm like, hey, my uncle. Like I'll be like, oh, that's my uncle right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like one of my tricking friends, he used to like always whenever you see a praying mantis, he'd always kind of like play with them and stuff. So whenever someone sees them, they're just like, oh, it reminds me of X person or whatever.
Exactly. It's not like I don't know, I don't want to be that asshole like that, like, oh, I hate life. I don't hate life. I actually love it that much. I don't know, I just don't feel like mourning it is a big, like, I've learned to like not have to mourn as heavy as others.
Yeah,
I've gone through my mourning periods. Like literally, like when my grandpa died, like
it probably hit hard.
That hit hard. Yeah. Like it hit hard immediately, and then it was done.
Yeah, I feel like once you have that first one that hits super hard, the other ones, like I feel like you're more like used. Now you know what to expect, kind of in a sense.
Yeah. Well, even when my grandma died too, that one hit hard too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I got over it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Not because like I'm like fuck that. It's just like I learned how to be able to. I know myself well enough to know how to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure like it also depends on like who passes away and stuff, or like what your relation is. Like for me, if it's like someone that I knew but I haven't talked to in a while, it doesn't like hit me like hard. But if it's someone, I see them like once a week or like twice a week or something, like it probably hits harder.
Yeah. Or if it's like a friend of a friend. And they were best friends, then I'll feel
bad for your friend because they're going through it, right? Yeah. And you can't really do anything to help them.
That's the hard part, is wanting to do something or thinking you can, but most of the time...
You just have to sit there.
You kind of just have to sit there. You just got to be ears, really.
Yeah, like if they want to say something, you got to be ready to just let them vent or whatever.
Yeah, like the words you use when someone's trying to like get through things shouldn't be advice. It should just be like comfort.
Yeah, or like I'm here to listen.
Yeah, exactly. Like go ahead, I'm here for you.
Like you also have to know like.
Don't direct them. Is pretty much what I'm saying. Like, let them go free and do their thing. Just be
like
there
let their thoughts out. Yeah, like. Everyone deals with it different, so you also have to kind of know your friends. Like I know, like for Kendall, like he makes it more of like humor in a sense.
Yeah.
But like not everyone can do that, right? Mm-hmm. Like so you have to kind of know your friend too. It's kind of tricky.
But I mean, if you're there to listen to your friend, you should know.
Yeah. I feel
like you could do it with strangers too. Like I've seen people just like crying
like on the bus or something. Yeah.
And like you're like this person. Like I'm that asshole. I'm not.
I don't.
It's not asshole, but I'm that like.
You go up to him and you're like, what's wrong?
Yeah, if it's that bad, I'll go like, hey, are you okay?
I feel like that's not you being an asshole. I feel like that's you being a good human. Well, I mean, I guess some people don't want people coming up to them or whatever.
Right, that's the thing is like sometimes it's unwarranted.
Yeah, like maybe they didn't expect like to hear some crazy news and they're just trying to process. They don't want anyone to talk to them. But
yeah, but the way I think about shit like that is like, and it's a selfish thought in a sense, but I'm like, if that was me, if I was the one crying over there, would I want someone asking me if I'm okay? Like, yeah.
Yeah, like you wouldn't mind it. Or like,
I'm not alone in this, and I'm like, people are concerned for me. Random people are concerned for me. That's crazy cool.
Yeah. I just don't know, like, even when friends cry, I'm always just like, what do I do? Like, I don't know what to say. Like... I'm like, damn.
That's the best thing to do sometimes is not say anything. Just let them cry, and then they'll always say something. I'm sorry for crying. Like,
I'm like, why are you sorry for crying, bro?
I hit them with that shit. I'm like, why the fuck are you sorry?
Yeah, I just find it funny. Sometimes people be apologizing for shit. I'm like, why are you apologizing?
I do that too. I do that all the time.
They're like,
I'm sorry for what? I don't know. Right? Don't say that. Well, I'm guilty of that all the time.
Yeah.
That's because like it's a safe fallback to fall on. Like you do something and you go and you don't know if it was a good or bad thing. You go, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. Oh, no worries, or all right.
Yeah.
It's just that like good like little safety net you give yourself.
Like sometimes you think you fucked up harder than you fucked up, but to them they're like, it wasn't that.
You're like preemptive to like maybe it's a negative thing I just did. And
yeah.
It wasn't that bad, dude.
We probably just overthink shit in our head more than
all
like
the time. Everyone does, dude. That's like one of the. I feel like that's one of the staples of this like decade and last decade.
Like overthinking and like anxiety, kind of like
mental issues.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have to do with overthinking. Not a lot. I can't say.
Yeah.
I can't speak on
It's
that.
really hard to like. I don't know.
But
I don't know if you
overthinking does contribute to a lot of issues. Like depression is usually. Or not? Not usually because I'm not an expert on it. But like a lot of times, the people that I've
like symptoms,
even myself, like overthinking is what got me into this shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like everything else fell into place, but me overthinking about it, or me like trying to predict what's gonna happen, like the anxiety, like all that stuff, like just really just makes it a lot worse.
And it's like so hard to help your friend that's overthinking too, because you might be like, bro, this is not like something serious that you gotta like super care about, but then you can't, like, in their own head they're thinking about it a different way, so you can offer your perspective. It doesn't mean that they're gonna stop thinking about their shit that way.
Right, like the magnitude of it hits probably a lot harder for them than it does for you that's seeing the bigger picture and going like, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like,
but they're just in this moment, they're just spiraling down and stuff. It's like crazy. It's really hard to get out of overthinking, but it takes time. You
just gotta learn about yourself, really. Like for me, that was my biggest thing, is like I had to seclude myself from like pretty much the rest of the world. I'd like in Arizona, like that's what happened. I went through like this awesome party, like making friends, living life, like being like a
social
really spending my 21. I turned 21 then. Really spending that year like just trying to live it up.
Just like get the most out of life.
Down in the process, and like I had to literally step back from it all, like. Close myself off from all my friends and everything like that to reevaluate myself, because I was looking in the mirror and I was like, I don't see what I'm seeing. Like I don't. What I'm looking at in the mirror is not what I wanted or intended to be. So I literally had to seclude myself and like try to like literally just like, for me it was like deducing the variables. Like was it my friends that was making me this?
Like you're trying to figure out all the factors that could have gone into it.
And every time I kept pointing blame at other things, it always just came back to me. Well, I made friends with those people. Well, I did stick around with them longer than I should have. I did get that shitty job, It's like, I could have said no to all those options. I kept saying yes, so it's my fault for being the yes man,
I feel like a lot of overthinking can just be like you just accepting the blame and just choosing to like move forward and like learn from it. Like once you like get that part over with, there's not much to overthink beyond that.
And that's what, that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned is like, you have to take responsibility for almost everything, even if it's out of your control. Like, you should, like, but for me, it just helps me to have a better conscience, because it's like, oh, it was my fault. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't Kendall's fault. It wasn't my dad's fault. It's my fault. Now I feel better because I could fix me. I can't fix you. Right?
Like,
you are you.
Like, even with freak injuries, like we're talking about, like, once they happen, obviously you can't blame yourself for anything, but you could just be like, now I can make my do the best in my PT and recover to the best of my, like, control what you can control, basically.
Exactly.
That way you don't have to overthink, like, oh man, I shouldn't have stepped this way or tried to kick that ball or like grab that rebound, or like, you don't have to think about all that stuff. Like, the what ifs will drive you crazy.
It does. Because
like,
I did that, dude. When I told my ACL, I was like, I could have done it. I shouldn't have sprinted that hard. I shouldn't have. Like, it already happened. I can't turn back time.
It doesn't do anything for you to
it really just makes you more upset, because you're like, I could have gone. I do that all the time, and I hate, like, I don't mind doing it, because like I have to sometimes, like when I'm trying to tell people about like, oh, how'd you tear your ACL? Oh, I was gonna go play soccer in San Diego, but I tore my ACL. And I hate doing that, because like I bring up that shit
moment.
I kind of like it's like a quick lapse of like, I could have done better. I could have avoided that injury.
Or it just reminds you of like a different like loop that, or like timeline you could have been on, and you don't want to like think about it.
Yep. But again, I'm like, I direct it differently, and I just go, like it probably was meant to be this way. Like, I don't want to be that guy that's like fate.
Or like everything has a reason or whatever.
But at some point, like if I like if think back on it in a different way, I'm like, oh dude, if I didn't tear my ACL, I wouldn't have hung out with my friends at the end. I wouldn't have played soccer there. I wouldn't have gone to Arizona.
Yeah.
My path of life would have been like, I don't know where I'd be right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I went to San Diego State, if I went to CSULB, I would have never met the people I met in Arizona. I would have never made the friends I made in Arizona. Who knows? Like, again, it's just.
Sometimes with stuff like that, people are like, oh, the grass is greener on the other side. But sometimes it's really, like, it's not. Like, you don't know what's on the other side. So it could just be the same shit, or it could even be worse. Like, it could be dry grass or something, bro. You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like... That's the thing, too, is, like, people always... I don't know, like, it's good to plan for the future, but, like, nothing's certain.
Yeah, I mean, I try to plan my day. Shit changes all the time, bro.
All the time.
So you have to just be ready to, like, go with whatever changes and shit. Like,
I can't do the Minuteman thing where you're okay, I gotta be here in 15 minutes, and after that, I'm gonna be here for 30 minutes, and I'm gonna go to the ship for 2 hours.
It's just shit. You can't plan it. I used to try and do that, but you can't plan that shit too close. I just try and do like, okay, these are the main things I have to get done today, and if these other little things get done, that'll help. But if they don't, it's whatever. But these 3 things here have to get done. Like,
and there's like a old like lesson like video on YouTube where a guy did some concept like that. It was like a commercial thing.
Yeah.
The guy puts like, he has a jar and he's like, can I fit all these like rocks in here? And he throws the rocks in there. It was to a class.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, can I fit these marbles in here with all the rocks? And the kids were like, no, and he makes it work. He's like, can I fit this sand in here? And again, makes it work.
Yeah.
And it's like that's how you should prioritize your life and just like your daily things. Like you said, like try and figure out the big 3 or whatever, the big things that you could fit in your day and go, okay, I'm going to knock those out. Make sure those are your priorities you knock out.
Yeah.
And then, okay, I got extra time. Okay, I could hit a couple smaller things. All right, extra time, I could hit even smaller details.
Yeah.
And then when you're out of time, then you do the same thing next day.
Yeah, it's so crazy because, like, it took me a while to realize this, but I was like, I can't even control my, like, daily schedule. How am I going to control shit that's going to happen in 10 years from now? Bro? That's not going to happen.
Yeah. No, that doesn't mean to like spend your money like you don't have it. You're gonna spend it like you're gonna lose it tomorrow.
Yeah,
but
like plan to a certain degree, but like
right? Like
what is that phrase? I think in the Forever Young song with Jay-Z, like hope for the best but expect the worst or whatever kind of thing.
That's a pretty common phrase. I say it all the
time.
Yeah. Hope for the best, expect the worst. Like it's true though. Like
so that way, like if shit goes wrong, you're not like, oh, I never foresaw this shit happen.
Right.
I mean, there still are things you don't foresee, but like.
Yeah, but like if you set your mindset that way, it's just easier for you to not be disappointed. Like, oh, I kind of saw this coming, or I was expecting this to happen.
I feel like expectations lead to disappointment more than yeah.
But again, like in that, like again, if you took that verbatim, low key, like anything that happens won't upset you because you're already expecting the worst.
Yeah.
So when you're hoping for the best, anything better than that worst is already a good step in the right direction or a good step forward from what you were expecting.
Yeah.
The only time it's worse is when something is worse than what you thought.
Like it can't be this bad. It gets worse.
Yeah. You're like, this is as bad as I think it's gonna get, and then
it's like in cartoons when they're like, oh, my day can't get any worse. Day gets so much worse. Like rain comes out of nowhere, like lightning, like the freaking earth is getting destroyed. Like it's just crazy. Yeah. Sometimes, what do they say? When it rains, it pours, right? So stuff just stacks and it's hard. Yeah.
It is, but like again, it's life, man. Like that's the whole journey of life. Like, if your life was easy all the way through, it wouldn't be not really living.
Yeah.
You know.
Like I feel like if you don't have those low moments, you can't really enjoy the high moments or whatever.
Yeah, and that's true. It's like a roller coaster, right? Like you can't you gotta climb that tower before you can hit that fall. You know, in a reverse way, because you always want to go downward.
Yeah,
that's where all the excitement is in a roller coaster. Yeah. But like in life, like you can't see the highs until you get to the lows, and vice versa. Like once you're at the highs, right? It's gonna get lower because you're at the fucking high.
There's nowhere. Yeah, you might be able to go a little higher, but like
right.
Most people.
But if you kept climbing, won't you think that'd be annoying? Like, I think like I would be like I don't know. Like I feel like people would probably disagree because like oh yeah like always on a high and always doing great things. Like,
but I feel like
you get to a point where you plateau. Then
it's kind of like the One Punch Man thing, where like you're so good at everything. Like now, what's like motivating you to move forward?
Isn't that the funny thing about his life? Is
like he's so good at everything.
Everyone's trying to be the hero of all heroes,
and he's like, this shit's boring, bro.
And he's just trying to make it through the day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's like,
because I'm trying to get my groceries, bro.
He's like, I gotta get to the discount store. I can't afford to eat. You know what I mean? Like that's his biggest struggle. Everyone else is like, I need to get stronger because these monsters are kicking my ass. And he's just over here like, fuck, dude, am I gonna have enough for a real meal tomorrow?
I guess people never like thought about that other side, or like most stories and books don't really consider the other side. They just focus on what it's like to just do that, like the American Dream thing, where you come from the bottom and stuff. But
do you ever rewatch shows to like look at like their deeper meanings and hidden like
every once in a while? But I haven't done it lately. Have you seen something lately? Or
yeah. Well, I wouldn't say Inception, but like Inception, Matrix, and all them. Like you know, there's that whole like theory of like or concept of like simulation theory and all that. But like sometimes they go beyond in a sense.
Yeah.
Like they just go beyond trying to teach lessons or trying to like portray something, and like I'll pick up on it. Even like TV shows. You know, where they're like Futurama does it really well. Simpsons, like they predict a lot of shit.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Stupid crazy. Because they're right a lot of the times.
Right. I swear they're like time travelers. But
yeah. But they'll also teach you like shit beyond just like entertainment.
Yeah, you know I feel like sometimes when you watch like maybe old cartoons, you realize like, oh, maybe like the reason I have these values is because it was in the show and I just didn't recognize that's what it was teaching me.
Yeah, because again, everyone's watching it. You just
absorb it like differently sometimes. I
don't want to put him under all this, but Kendall does that a lot of the times where he'll watch shows just because they're entertaining. That's perfectly fine, but that's just not me. You know, I watch them because I'm like, oh shit, Westworld. Like you've heard of Westworld?
Yeah.
Like that whole concept of like AI taking over. Like, is that life or not? Right? They're robotic, but like they have sentience. It's like
I remember like in high school, we had like I had Kunkel for English. Do you have,
sci-fi, right?
Yeah. And he asked a question like, "Oh, if like we one day have robots and AI, like if they're at trial, do we try them as humans or like how do you try them or like how do you like classify them?"
Well, they did that in Futurama too, where they did an episode where the robot in the show Bender, right? He was like, he wasn't guilty of any crimes because he was programmed to do that. But like, what's to say we aren't?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like. Our programming is just so complicated that like we don't know. You know what I mean? Like we could be like on this big plan that we have no idea of. That's how complicated our brains can be. Our brains are just giant supercomputers. In the sense, and literally that's the case. Like literally we have synapses. Like we're just made it's just made of different materials. Biological materials, which is carbon based, right? Bio is carbon based stuff. So that's the biggest difference is just the materials, but it all works the same. Like if we've got like I don't know, I guarantee you someone's trying to work out how to map and how to like literally program a brain.
I'm sure, yeah. I mean, they have like the Neuralink stuff where it's like they're going to use that to help people recover from certain like functions that deteriorate in their like brain over time or whatever. That's just like partial like robotic or whatever. And in the future, it's probably going to be like more and more. Yeah, I mean, in the same way too, like learning about yourself and all this. Right, like you can literally break it down to like basic questions to like pretty much saying not that you're a computer, but like your brain kind of is wired that way. But like you get angry, why are you angry? Yeah.
Right, like I'm angry because I don't know what I'm angry. Like yes, you do. You just don't want to. You just don't want to
that's why, like,
open up or like there's something hidden there. Like,
that's why people, I guess, go to like therapy because they want to rely on someone else to ask them the hard-hitting questions instead of just like looking in the mirror being like, let me ask me the hard-hitting questions and actually be honest with myself. And like, because I personally don't really like therapy or like the idea of it because I'd rather be like, why don't I just like look at myself and just, you know, like duke it out with myself in a sense and just figure it out.
Yeah, well, that was the thing when I went through therapy. Because I did therapy for like a few months.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it because I literally was just talking to a mirror. Like, not literally a mirror, but like the person didn't say anything back. And it kind of frustrated me because I had like that TV kind of like mentality of therapy where like you would talk and they'd like delve into certain concepts. Right?
Yeah, like they would just figure out like, oh, maybe this thing from your past triggered this or like.
Well, usually therapists, if I know correctly, again, I'm not an expert, but they don't ever try to like they don't ever try to conclude or try to come to something.
Okay.
They try to make you figure it out.
Yeah.
But they'll ask questions that like open your mind up a bit. Like, hey, why do you think, like I said, why are you mad? And you'll go, oh, well, I was mad because John fucking kicked me in the face. Why did he kick you in the face? Literally, it's just like not interrogation, but
it's like a questioning of yourself, yeah.
Yeah, like you're literally answering your own questions, pretty much. Because like you're like, why? Because then you go, why was I mad? You'll get to a point where you're like, why was I upset?
And then half the time you're like, this shit wasn't even important enough to be mad at, yeah.
Yeah. And then like if it's really that like buried deep, that's what they try to do is try to surface it so you can deal with it, right? They try to get that demon deep inside of you that's making you inherently angry all the time or inherently, skittish or shy.
Yeah.
And they go, well, I found it. Like, how do you want to confront that? And that's up to you. Oh, I don't. All right, well, then you're not going to get anywhere. Or, you're going to be still stuck in that.
Yeah, it's going to hold you back. Yeah. I mean, for some people, therapy works. I just never really fuck with it.
Well, that was the thing. Same. Like, I was like, okay, this isn't working. Like, I'll just do it myself. Yeah. Because, like, I kind of get the gist of it in the sense of, like, how I figure things out for myself. I just, like I said, I'll just question all my actions. Not in like why did I move that class? I'll do that sometimes when I'm really, like, stupid. Like, why did I wash these? I'm like, oh yeah. Because I'm working here and this is.
You like start doing some other stuff and you're like, I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah. But like in the sense, like, before I react to anything, I always like just internalize first. So I'll be like, fuck that guy. Like I'm driving and someone cuts me off, I'm like, fuck that guy.
And then I'll
say that like under my teeth. No one's even in my car. But then I'll be like, all right, take a step back. Why was I angry about this? I didn't get into an accident. Yeah. You know what I mean? I didn't fucking hit the guy. He didn't hit me. Like, that was a dick move.
And like, you don't know why he's rushing or doing what he's doing either. So you can't like let's say like he just found out someone he knows is in the hospital and he's just trying to get there. He's not really thinking about it. Like, you don't know.
I don't really think about it like that because like, it could be for any reason. I don't care.
But it just didn't affect you enough to be like super mad about.
Yeah, I'm just like, why did that anger me so much? Like nothing came of it.
Yeah.
Right. Like my heart rate went up a bit because I didn't want to run into.
Yeah.
Or like even now, even in some situations, like I'll see some guy just like cut into a lane real quick, and I'm like, I do hate that.
It's annoying because you just put other people at risk.
He is affecting me. He just cut the line, and now I have to wait a little longer in this traffic. But even then, I'm like, am I in a rush to get anywhere? I'm like, no, all right, it doesn't bother me.
I feel like most things really don't require, like even if you are in a rush, they don't require you to be there exactly on time, or most people are understanding why you're late.
Yeah, but even then, like, that's another problem then. It's like, okay, why am I late? Why am I rushing to get somewhere?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like I have to go 80 miles per hour? And
why did I not just leave earlier or some shit like that? Or
and it's like, and then you can like, all right, well.
Like eventually,
once you figure out like what was in your control and what is out of your control, then you can like deduce like the things you can work on.
Yeah.
Oh well, the kid was taking his time. All right, well I have to get on his case a little bit, or if I have a kid in a sense.
Yeah.
Or like the dog didn't want to do, nothing was going my way. Well, you can't control that. Like you could do what you can to like cushion yourself more.
Yeah.
I'll just wake up early and I'll try to get the dog out early enough, and I'll try to get the kid's food ready so he's not taking his time eating.
Yeah.
Like you can prepare for as much as you can, but you can't control everything.
Well, at least if you take like the majority of the ownership, you can control like a lot of the stuff.
Right. And that's what I always boil it down to is like no matter what, like in our soccer games, it's a team sport. So if we lose as a team, we win as a team, we lose as a team.
But you have how much you control too, yeah.
Right. And even then, I take a lot of that responsibility. Like, even though people won't give it to me, I give it to myself. That responsibility, like, we lost. I don't know, we lost because of me, but I was like, I could have done better. We could have won, this and that.
It's like how quarterbacks, they basically like take all the blame when like things go wrong because they don't want to throw anyone under the bus. Like even if it was the defense's fault and the quarterback did everything he could, he's like, no, it's my fault. I should have put up more points. So.
Right. And if everyone has that mentality, we'll be one step closer to everyone being like solving that problem that much faster.
Yeah, it doesn't help to just throw people under the bus. You just got to control it.
It just pisses off that other person. Like fucking our defense should fucking step the fuck up. And then they just get pissed off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just like, well, fuck you. I guess I'm going to try a little less now because I hate you. You know what I mean?
Like it's different. Like if you talk to them and be like, hey, man, we didn't do this good, but like maybe we should watch out for these things instead of like throwing them under the bus.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of throwing them under the bus, if you turned it inward, and you're like, if I did better, then I could have given my defense more of a break. So when they do score, we have more of a buffer in points because and that way, like, or you like do better, and then your team sees that. And usually actions show louder than words.
Yeah.
But if you use both correctly, then like
it'd be the most efficient.
Dude, that was all my fault. I do it all the time. It's all my fault, bro. Like I could have done better. Then they'll literally turn inward too and be like you. They will say it like they're like, oh yeah, no, I could have done better too, bro. Like, and then guess what? Now we're both trying to step up our game to do better.
The only thing I hate is like it's cool for the player to accept all the blame, but when the media is like, oh, it's this one player's full fault, I'm like, bro, really? Like, why are you guys doing this?
But that's the media for you, dude. They always try to like
grab headlines.
They try to paint things that aren't black and white, or they try to paint things that
could be black and white into like grayish areas.
Yeah, well, they try to make you like they like to cause drama. That's the media, right? People are like drawn to dramatic shit all the time. Gossip, all that shit. People love it. They eat it up all the time.
Like I've seen like a post or like I guess like science research or whatever where it's like if something has a positive headline versus if something has a negative headline, the negative headline is going to get more clicks.
Always.
So like
always.
That's why people always care about like building up drama because it just gets more attention. Like, So because stupid.
People, like it shows excitement in the life because it changes the status quo of it, right?
Yeah.
Because like you see like, oh, there was a shooting. Oh shit. You get concerned, and then you get to share that with people. Like, dude, did you hear about this shooting?
Or like if you felt an earthquake or something, you're like, oh, did anyone else
no one wants to hear like, did you see that guy donated $1 million to, you know?
Yeah, or like, did you see the firefighter save the cat or something?
Did you see that Akon went to, what is it, Uganda? No, Uganda. Is it Uganda?
I know it's in Africa, but...
It was Haiti, right? I think it was Haiti.
And did like the solar panels.
But like he goes and does that, no one really knows about that unless you look into Akon. No one's like, this is what Akon's doing.
But then like nowadays,
they're like, no, dude, all these gangsters in LA are shooting each other up. Let's put that up. All these riots and I'm just speculating, just like generalizing here, not saying LA all bad or anything like that. But like that's been like the talk of the town
for years.
For years, right? Like they do it in all the like since
like NWA and stuff.
Dr. Dre, and NWA, exactly. Like I'm not trying to throw anybody on the bus when I make that comment. But you know what I mean? Like people eat that shit up more.
Instead of like people who rap about positive stuff or like
you do that with COVID viruses too. I don't want to get into this topic too heavy, but like they'll show you like how many. It's not like
they'll just show you all the cases and like the deaths,
they'll show you how many people have it and how many people have died from it, but they won't show you like all the recovery stuff and all that. They just show you like, the numbers that represent bad statistics. They don't show you the whole picture. They'll just show you this side because people eat up this side.
Well, and you have to like think about how whatever side they want to show for any argument, like someone's benefiting off of whatever viewpoint they're showing. So there's like someone's stakeholders like has like a value in whatever view that they're projecting.
There's always benefactors. Like for war too. Like that's the biggest one, right? Like there's always like one side's getting destroyed. There's always a benefactor too. Whether it's someone who's like funding or like the winning side, but usually it's the people funding it. Right? People who are funding like weaponry and like those are the people who profit the most, and they have nothing to lose because they have no stake in any side of it.
Usually they say if you track like the money trail, you know why people are doing what they're doing. Like
follow the money.
You'll figure it out.
Follow the money. It's true though, man. Like you'll. If you do it even just a little bit, you start to see shady shit pop up left and right.
Like I remember when like jewels were pretty big in like high school or like start of college, and they used to have like the flavors, right? But in the past few years now, there's been like a huge flavors are what make kids start vaping.
Funny is that they got rid of like Jules got rid of like all their like flavors. And now you get these shits that are all just flavors. It was like okay, so you like. So
we didn't change
Juul just became the martyr for all these things. So now like all these other puff brands can like.
And then when you figure out like why Juul was getting sued, it's because like cigarette companies were losing people smoking cigarettes. So we need to like.
Is that true? I didn't know.
That's what I've like seen. Like I don't know if it's like 100% or I'm sure there's like government also has like. They want to say it's like for people's health.
It's been a while since I looked into it, probably back in like 2018. But I thought I saw something of like a big tobacco cigarette company.
Well, because like cigarettes have like their e-cigarettes, which I've never seen any.
I've had one of those. Just because.
But they're meant for people to get off of cigarettes, right?
Huh?
They're meant for people to try and get off cigarettes.
Exactly. And I wasn't a cigarette smoker, but. like someone gave me a free e-cig, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it has none of the shit of a cigarette, but the same flavor." And I was like, "All right, I'll just give it a try." It was free, and I was vaping back in the day, hardcore vaping. Like I tried it, dude. It was nasty. I just don't like the flavor of cigarettes, man. I was like, if this is what a cigarette tastes like, I don't want anything to do with it.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of like big pharma were like the ones who were arguing against not making weed legal, because a lot of people use like CBD to recover from stuff, and big pharma like depends on people just using painkillers and shit, so they lose like money if people are just switching to like CBD.
Not only that too, but like now that they did, it's kind of like they could tax it. So that's why like they probably
the government benefits.
They probably just hold the line. Okay, let's evaluate real quick. Can we tax this, and how high can we tax it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's make it legal, but also tax it at such a ridiculous rate. That's what they do.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least it's better than like you getting your weed or something cut from like someone else. Like lately, like everything has like fentanyl in it, and like it's been going crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like if you always track the paper trail, you always figure out like
where they're hiding all their shit. Always.
Yeah.
So it gets dangerous if you go too deep.
Yeah. It does. You go down that like rabbit hole. It's with anything.
It's like the Matrix. Once you go down that rabbit hole, there's no coming back. It really isn't.
Have you ever
been? It's true. Like you can't be ignorant too. Like once you figure something out, you can be as ignorant as you can try to be, but it's always going to be there for you.
Yeah.
You will never not see it. It's like when you see like those optical illusions. Once you figure them out, you'll never not see it. It'll be like, oh, do you see the rabbit or the duck? And you're like, oh, there's both. There's two, and you'll be, oh, I see them both. The next time you see that image, you're like, I see it either way now. Yeah. It's not one of those like, I gotta give you. No, you're just like, oh yeah, my eyes and my brain has adjusted to this optical illusion. Boom.
Yeah. Like I've noticed sometimes too. Like if you think about like a specific car or something, like let's say for example you're like, oh, I just bought like a white Jeep. I'll just all of a sudden start seeing like white Jeeps everywhere. I'm like, bro, why is this happening?
You don't have to buy it. You just think of it. I do it all the time.
So annoying.
It feels like, very Matrixy.
I'm like, bro, what's going on? Like Truman Show type. Like
bro,
they just putting all these out here.
Like, I wouldn't even like be like, man, I haven't seen a lot of. I'll be like, I haven't seen a lot of Chargers out here. The vehicle.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, I see like
a bunch,
but it's like it's not like all black Chargers, normal color. I'll see like this lime green one. I'll see like this orange ass one, a yellow Charger. I'm like,
what is going on?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like there was one day I just went for a walk through the town, literally like 2 miles, like probably like 6 or 7 miles, just to stroll around.
Yeah.
And like that was the reason I brought it up, because that was exactly it. I was like, what's the coolest like sports car that I think? I'm like, Chargers they're all right, I was like, and that was a thing on my mind. I was like, Chargers are cool, I guess, like the newer ones. I just had that on my mind. I walked through literally this neighborhood of like literally 4 or 5 Chargers, and the first 2 I saw, one was facing this, they were facing the correct way on the street. One was orange, the other one was yellow. I was like,
what the heck?
These are 2 colors you don't see on these cars. You usually see like the normal black, normal white,
or like
gray.
red. Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, it's crazy. So like I've done that with like G-Wagons. So I was like, damn, I've never really seen, like I saw a G-Wagon, I was like, oh damn. But now I see them everywhere. I'm like, are people just buying these cars, or like, what's going on, bro? Like there's no way.
I went on this date with a girl, and I was at ASU. I had no car. I had no money. I was pretty broke. I hadn't started working yet. And where did I meet her?
Like on campus?
No, I think when my friends threw a party, I don't know how she got invited, but she came through, right? And she's vegan, and I don't tend to usually date vegans because, like,
you just like meat,
Food options are very limited, and I'm a foodie. I eat whatever's good, I eat it. I'm not like too strict on my diet anymore. And like, we went to this place where we could both eat. I walked there because it was like that close. It was like a 2-minute walk from my place.
Got it,
And this girl pulls up in a G-Wagon.
Bruh.
Dude, I was like, oh, it's one of these girls.
Bruh.
Oh, I'm like...
You're like,
I was like, this is like one of those stories of like that broke-ass boy with the fucking... Like, she's about to be my sugar mom.
Bruh.
Yeah.
You're like, how can I finesse this?
Low-key, I thought that, but you know me. I'm like, it's just jokes, you know what I mean? I'm not that guy. Like, I'm not the guy that's...
You're like, nah, I'm gonna get tired of this shit eventually. Like, it's not worth it.
I paid for my own meal and all everything. But still, like, there was like... I was like 20. I was like I was intimidated. I still have kind of like that like old school traditional mindset where I'm like, Not that I need to make more, but I need to make something comparable.
Yeah.
I'm like, she has a G-Wagon.
Like, you don't have that Kendall mindset where you're like, I can just chill at home. Like, I just rely on my girlfriend.
I'm like, this girl's rolling up with G-Wagon. She's spending money on, like, she had, like, her nice Chanel purse and everything like that.
And you probably just threw on, like, a flannel or something.
But that was me. I didn't even do that. I dressed like I normally do. That's how she met me.
Oh,
you know what I mean? She met me in my board shorts and my regular shirts. And, like, she was cool with that. And I put on better shorts and a better shirt, but nothing like crazy, flannel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was still cool with it, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, like, I don't think she knows what she's getting herself into dating my ass.
You're like, I'm a broke college student, and she's like...
and she's rolling. Yeah, she's rolling. I'm like,
it's not
what's going on here? Like, it was fun. Crazy. She was cool, but at the same time, like,
but there are some people that don't care. Like, they're like, oh, I might have money and you don't, but I don't really care about that stuff or whatever.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who say that.
Yeah, and then like later you're like, well, am I getting?
I didn't think she was like that. It was more me. I just got super like at that again. At this point in my life, I was like super self conscious about shit. Like that.
Yeah.
I'm not making a lot of money. She's gonna fucking call me out on that shit day one.
Yeah.
And I'm not, because I wasn't planning on getting a job. I was like living it up for a bit.
Yeah.
So I was like,
but you did get a job eventually, though.
I did.
Right? Yeah.
But that was the kicker for me. That was like, and it wasn't like I didn't just ghost her or anything like that. But it was like that became what boiled it down to. I was like, I'm not gonna get a job. I'm not gonna be able to take her out often.
Yeah.
So
you're like making all these calculations.
I don't want to waste your time. Like you seem like, and she was a flight stewardess, right? So she would go and travel.
What the fuck, bro? Yeah, how has she even got time to be buying G-Wagon?
Yeah. So she just traveled a lot. So I was like, I think it'd be best for both of us. I'm like, well, we can still have fun and whatnot, but like, end of the day,
it's not gonna be a serious.
I don't think anything's gonna go further than this. Cause like, you're over here and I'm way the fuck.
You're like, I'm trying to get to where you're like at, but.
Oh yeah, in a sense, I was like, like you already got your shit figured out, and I had started to unravel my garbage. You know?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But damn. Yeah, I mean, sometimes also like. Some people find it weird when you're just like, I just don't want to waste your time. Like, I say that to people. I just recognize, like, okay, this is not going to work. But then people get mad. They're like, no, I didn't intend it to be like this, blah, blah, blah. I was like, bro, it's just not going to work out. Just like, we're better off just moving on.
I kind of use that as like a test sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to waste your time. And then I want to see their response. Because if they're like, oh, you're not, or like, like when they're genuinely like, you're not, and then you go, because like, you and I have kind of similar thing where like we got projects we're working on all the time.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my time isn't going to be dedicated to you.
Yeah.
Like, if you're okay with, we talked about this in the car too, on our trips to Reno.
Yeah.
We should take another one soon. Sometime.
I'm down.
We'll figure it out. But like we talked on like multiple occasions, but like you and I have that mindset where it's like hey, I'm going to lay everything out in front of you.
Yeah.
This is what's going on in my life kind of thing. Like as you can see, there's not a lot of window for us to hang out. If you're okay with that, then let's ride.
Yeah.
If not, like I'm giving you your out now.
Yeah.
So when you figure out that he was for serious, like you can't get mad at me because I laid it all out for you.
There's like that. Some people talk about how like when they're dating someone, like after a while they figure out their true colors or whatever.
Yeah.
I just rather just show my true colors up front. Exactly so I'm like, if you fuck with me, then you really fuck with me.
Right.
We don't waste time here. Like instead of being like, I'm gonna put on this face so that way I can get with you, and then later be like, oh no, this isn't who I am. Like, not.
Yeah. I mean, I've done that a couple times, and it doesn't work. It never works out.
Yeah.
It never.
Because you're gonna go back to who you really are. It's too hard to keep up a fake image.
And when you do, like. Then it becomes like a whole not grace period, but it becomes this fucking ugly mess of being
because they're like, oh, you lied to me and shit.
I know you saw me as the clean, like, neat freak who likes to dress all fancy and shit, but, like, I only did that to like, pick girls up. Or, you know what I mean? It's I didn't expect to date someone out of it. And it's like, instead of doing that, like I go to the bar with my brother every now and then when I have days off.
Yeah.
Like, maybe once a week. If that, once every other week, because I work there all the time.
Yeah, so you're always there,
But when I go out, I'm on the fun side of the bar.
Yeah.
But again, I don't ever try to like have that mentality where I'm going to ask a girl, because I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I already got enough shit on my plate.
Like, you're like, I can't take more responsibility.
I'm not looking for any one-night stands either.
Yeah.
That's just me.
You're like,
I've gone through that phase already. I'm like, if I'm going to date someone, it's going to be like it's going to be lock up. But again, it's like not, you know what I mean? Like, there's a whole process to it. It's like, I'm not going to lock her up on the moment. Like, we'll get to know you kind of thing. I don't know.
Like you just want to take it seriously.
Like, let's just be real. It's kind of like that prude mindset. I want to get to know you first. I'm not fucking on the first date. Like,
bruh. Yeah, but I mean, like, I guess everyone goes through that period where they're cool with the one night stands, but eventually people just get over it. Right?
Yeah, because there's nothing to it. Like, dude, once you get past that idea of like lust, and it's a big. Like,
yeah, I mean, for some people,
they promote it a lot everywhere.
Yeah,
like
it's commercials,
everywhere.
billboards.
Like, once you get past that like shit of like lust, you're like everything becomes more real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You become like. If people are more genuinely cool to hang out with when it's not,
or
just
you at least
sex.
like actually try to genuinely hang out with people instead of trying to get something out of it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like if you're hanging out with someone just to fuck them, it's not gonna work out in the long run. It's really not.
Yeah, if you're hanging out because you like enjoy their company,
yeah.
that's the way to go.
That hit different. It hit different.
I guess like that's the one thing like Kendall does. Like he knows like him and Cassie, like he just enjoys being around.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like that's what you want in a relationship in a sense. So.
Yeah.
The one thing you can look up to Kendall for.
Yeah, exactly. But even then, that fool does have his moments where like, I wish.
I'm like, bro, why
you signed up for it, dude.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you can't.
But then he also goes, nah, but I don't know if I was on the single side, I could never do this shit. I'm like, bro, what? Pick a side, dog.
He'll never know until he does it. And
yeah.
You know, like,
but he's just, you know him, like, yeah.
He can speculate all he wants, but he would never know. Man, because they're like, oh, dude, I wouldn't do it again because it could be so ass. I'm like, you wouldn't know though.
Yeah.
He's like, I think I would be a hoe. Again, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You could do this. You could again speculation. This would never happen. But like if he was single, right? And he was like, who knows if he just goes straight into another real relationship?
Yeah.
You know?
If he's that type to just jump. I mean, he kind of yeah.
I mean, if you look at his like past history, that's how it happens. Right?
Yeah, like he had like
he
a month.
Out of one, didn't expect to jump into another, and it ended up being that way.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people do that. They just jump from one to one, but it's not. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's healthy to do that, but
it just depends, right? Like it just depends on where your mindset's at. If you're doing it for all the right reasons, then more power to you. But if it's like I'm doing it to compensate to fill that hole,
there's never gonna.
If you have a hole, you need to patch that hole up before you even try to fill it with
I feel like people can't fill a hole inside of you. You just kind of have to be like, okay, why does this happen, and what gives me the happy, like what makes me happy in this area or whatever. You can't depend on someone because eventually, like we said in the beginning of this, like people do pass away, so you can't always just be like, I'm gonna rely on this person to make me happy forever.
Right. Yeah, dude, it's like two towers. I always make this like a little analogy, but it's like two like. I guess a house divided cannot stand kind of thing. But like if two towers are leaning on each other, then they'll never have a chance to build upward because they will meet to a point once they meet here. You can't keep going up. If you have like something like this, then you could just keep going up. Like you just keep motivating each other to push each other forward. It happens more often than not, but people never notice. Yeah. Because once you get into a relationship, dude, you see things through rose-colored glasses. Like, this girl's amazing, and all your friends are like...
Or you're, like, whipped for, like, the first few weeks or months.
And that's happened to me all the time.
I feel like,
this girl's awesome, and this and that. And then, like, deep down, there's a part of me that knows it's not. Yeah. Just doesn't want to admit it. All my friends are like, are you sure? Are you sure? I mean, you're really sure. And I'm like, that's fine. We'll figure it out.
Like, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, like, this is just the rough waters. We're just going through rough waters, like... Been rough waters for a year, man.
Sometimes people forget they were their own person before the relationship because now they just have like their combined identity.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the identity of the self, like it takes a backseat a lot of times, and it shouldn't. Right?
Or it's like whenever like you have a homie that always shows up with his girlfriend, like, hey, bro, you can hang out without your girlfriend coming all the time.
Yeah, and at the same time, like you could also say the opposite. Like, I never see you like. We have friends on both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like, you could bring your girlfriend around this. Nah. Why? I don't want her to meet you guys. Okay, are we the problem or is she the problem?
Or are you the problem? Like, what's going on? Yeah. Or like homies that are like, yeah, my girlfriend's coming. Like, hey, bro, we saw your girlfriend like 2 days ago. Like, why is she coming again? It's relationships. That's not.
We were at the bar on Thursday. I was dancing with this girl. Awesome. Like, it was fun. I had a lot of fun, but again, I was never going to go anything further than just hang out and dance and talk. Right? And didn't ask for a number, anything. But that's the way I roll. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's just me. Like, I'm not... If I see you again, I'm not gonna say it's fake, but like
then you're like, I
have a better opportunity to kick it up.
Yeah,
I hate text conversations, dude.
And you can't like get a genuine feel for someone over text.
Not only that, but you run out of things to talk about in person because you're already caught up in text.
So I'm just like, sometimes I see the homies, I'm like, what are we gonna talk about? Bro, I already talked to you about everything.
I couldn't do it. I did that with my last girlfriend. It was amazing because like she lived 2 hours away.
Yeah.
And I would check in every now and then. I wasn't like that like good morning, good night, every day kind of person. That annoys me a little bit. Like it's nice to have every now and then, but at the same time, it's annoying. But I didn't text her for like literally a couple of weeks or a week at a time, you know, because like I'm like she's busy doing her shit. I'm busy doing my shit. Yeah. Like if I'm wasting time texting her, like I don't know. And every now and then, I'll just be like, I'll send her something nice and cute or whatever. Or send her a meme or whatever the fuck. But like when we met up in person,
you'd have so much to talk about. I went to
go pick her up. We had a shit ton of things to talk about. I wouldn't be like, hey, how was work over text? Because then she'd be like, this is how work goes.
And then in person, what are you gonna ask her? Yeah.
How was work?
I already told you.
Like, yeah, pretty much. Like she just tells me the same story, and then I get annoyed because I'm listening to the same. I'll be cutting her off. I'm like, oh yeah, your friend Johnny, and then he fucking dropped all this lobsters, and like, you know what I mean? Like that shit's just like, I'd rather have it like candid. You know what I mean?
I feel like sometimes with like text stuff too, like things can be misinterpreted so much.
All the time.
Like like this week, like when
you get to a point where you know someone so far, like so down the line that you could kind of pick up.
Okay, see, but this is what I was.
You hear their voice in your head.
This is what I was gonna get to though. So this week I was like, oh, can we do the episode on blah 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 day? And then like Kendall the next day was like, oh, I can't make it because he as he's mentioned in previous episodes, he's in SF State now. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, now we got time. Like, me and Steve could do the episode. And he's like, was that sarcastic? I'm like, bro, like, you've known me for so many years. Like, I was like, I'm not sarcastic with people. I'm just a straight shooter. Like, whatever comes out of my mouth is just, like, what I mean. Like,
same. Like, for me, like, I know which topics to be sarcastic about. I know which topics not to be sarcastic about. You know? Like,
I was just like, bro, I've known you for so long. How are you misinterpreting this? Like, I'm saying, even the people closest to you sometimes, you're misinterpreting those texts, bro.
Well, I heard this joke because, like, I've been hanging out with Christian and Christine all the fucking time because we play soccer together.
Oh, yeah.
So I hang out with them after the games and we'll just chit chat. I'm like, dude, I hang out with them. I'm getting closer to them than I am with Kendall at this point.
I mean, I think you're still close to Kendall because you went to SF State and stuff. Yeah.
But that was the joke. I'm like, dude, I've seen him like maybe once a week. I see him fucking 2 to 3 times a week.
Because you guys got practice and the games and stuff.
Well, we both play on Mondays on different teams. We'll hang out and run into each other.
Okay.
And then usually they'll both come on Wednesdays.
Yeah, for the games and stuff.
So we'll just like, if our games are early, we'll hang out, kick it. I'll hang out with Christian and because his sister's husband.
Okay.
Yeah, so the sister's husband plays on our team too.
Okay.
So like we'll just kick it. They have 2 kids. We'll just kick it, chill it, talk about stuff, eat food. Just chill for a good couple hours, and then we'll all head home. We're like, you know what I mean?
You're like you spend more time with them.
Exactly. I spend more time with those 2 than I do with Kendall now at this point.
I mean, and we play basketball on the weekends.
So it's like Kendall just said your name too, and I was like, and Vanille. Oh no, me and Vanille play basketball all the fucking time.
Yeah. I was like, we played like 3 hours yesterday. So
we
played.
That was fun though, dude.
It's just because Kendall just be trying to sit at home, right? Like we hit him up to go.
Like, He's like,
I could do it, but I just don't want to do it. Like,
no, the thing is, I called him out. I come play. I didn't even ask him, like, do you want? I'm like, come play basketball with us. Maybe. And I can't.
Yeah, but like,
come on, dude. You can't waste it.
But then when I'm like, he doesn't have it anymore. Nah, I still got it, bro.
Yeah. I know.
I'm like, how are you going to say that?
And I can't play. Come on, dude. Don't give me that shit.
This guy. I'm going to start working out. Why don't you just come play basketball with us?
Honestly, dude, my fucking cardio is going out the ass. I need to start lifting again. My shoulder's been feeling a lot better.
Yeah, it's just your knee now, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I think the problem with my knee is like literally not exercising enough. Like actual strength training. Because like
building your quad or your like
Well, so like you can have like muscle deficiency in the sense that like your hamstrings could be stronger than your quads or vice versa. Yeah. So like one muscle is compensating more for the other, which causes problems in your bones and the rest of your body. I think that's the case with me because, dude, I have some pretty big hamstrings. Like, I have really solid hamstrings, but like I haven't been doing a lot of quad stuff.
Yeah.
But my quads are like less developed now than my hamstrings are.
Yeah. And especially like basketball when you're running backwards, that's all like quads. Like when you're running back on a play and stuff like that.
Yeah, so. And like literally like my hamstrings, my hamstrings are so, like it's because you have antagonistic muscle groups, right? Okay. So like your bicep and tricep are antagonizing. Quads, hamstrings, antagonizing. So because one's more more
stronger than
developed than the other, there's a compensation factor. Which again messes up the rest of your body because it's not in balance.
But is it ever possible to get it like it's not possible to get it like exactly equal, right? You'll get close.
No, I mean that's not the like you're not going like I need to get this 150.
Yeah.
But like you'll know, right? Like you'll be like, oh, dude. Like,
yeah.
For me, like it's kind of obvious when I look at myself. I'm like, I'll like do that like girl like pose.
Oh yeah.
Just to see because like my hamstrings are pretty big.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit! And I look at my quads. I'm like they're toned, but they're tiny. Like right now they're tiny. In my eyes, because like I've had way bigger quads before, so same thing with my fucking biceps and triceps. Like I used to never do tricep workouts.
Oh yeah.
And so like your biceps won't look bigger until you work out your triceps.
I mean, your triceps is like takes up more of your arm than your biceps.
Muscles. But like that's how it goes. Same with like upper and lower.
Yeah.
Like if you don't work out both, like one side's gonna be deficient.
Yeah, I feel like
you won't even get the bulk you want because because of the imbalance.
The one that people probably feel the most is like if your back and if your back's not as strong and your chest is stronger, you're just like weird because you're just leaning forward.
Well, it's the same thing. Like you'll see, it's actually the reverse. If you have like, because like it's a lot of climbers.
Okay.
You'll see a lot of climbers with big backs but no chest muscles.
Yeah.
And they'll start to get this like hunched like monkey look because their muscles are so overbearing and they have no chest volume to cover their. It'll just start curling forward because their lats are so flared out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just naturally, it'll just look like this.
Yeah, climbing is all back.
Yeah. Same with chest. You can have like a big chest and like nothing in the back, and
you just
start getting wide.
Yeah.
Like not in a good way. You know what I mean? You're just like this just starts rolling like around this way because you have no lats to like carry over and like balance it out.
Yeah, I feel like there's only very few like sports or activities that are pretty balanced, but most of them always have like a dominant side, so it kind of fucks you up.
Well, soccer is terribly imbalanced.
Yeah, because most people only kick with one leg, right?
Yeah. Well, not only that, but like you're just on your feet. You don't ever. You're not pushing people. You're not using your arms except for pumping them to run.
Yeah, I think they say like what is swimming supposed to be something that's pretty balanced?
Yeah. Well, it depends on your. Yeah. I think swimming's I'm pretty thinking balanced. Of each medley. He was like, yeah. It is.
If you know how to do all the strokes, I guess,
Well, not only that, I mean, I was thinking if any stroke you didn't use your legs, but I'm pretty sure you use your legs in every.
Yeah, I think you do use
every medley. Yeah. So, Yeah. Also, a lot of people miss out on is their core.
Yeah.
But it's not like toning up your core. It's just literally the core itself.
Yeah.
Like you can work out your core. You can have the strongest core and it not look like a freaking like those like model six packs. A lot of strength. A lot of the strongmen have the strongest cores in the world.
Even though they're like big dudes.
Even though they look like grizzly bears.
Yeah.
But they're just like literally like some just work on their core because they'll do like a bunch of lifts where they'll like have to go into. It's almost like a jerk.
But
they'll do it with like logs and shit. And dude, like they'll be like, if I don't develop my core, because and your diaphragm, because you gotta hold your breath sometimes. Yeah. Because when you're holding your breath, you're expanding your muscles, and that way, like you can get the most efficiency out of it. And they'll just like literally just do like I've seen, I think it's Eddie Hall and Brian. I used to watch a lot of Eddie Hall, Brian Shaw.
Okay, yeah, I've seen Brian Shaw's stuff. Yeah.
And they'll actually do like fucking just diaphragm core workouts.
Yeah.
Bro. We gotta do this because like it's hard to move as a big man. The cardio, it hits different.
Like I feel like most people ignore their core, but like you need it for every sport.
It's not hard to work out your core. Like literally, you can just. I was watching another video. I used to get into like fit. I mean, I still am, but I used to like into fitness where I just watch a bunch of fitness people. And one guy's like, you can work out your core anywhere. Like you just squeeze the shit out of the core. As many times as you can. You hold it there for as long as you can. Once they get tired, you relax, and then you do it again, and you relax, and you do it again. So your core itself is getting strong, even though the muscles might not tone up to it. That's the easy part, right? The easy part is toning the muscles because now you have this core.
And I feel like even just like core workouts in general, you could mostly do at home.
Yeah,
like,
I think core and like your mid to lower back are like one of the most important things because they connect your legs and your torso to your torso.
Yeah,
your lower to upper. And like again, I'll deadlift, and my brother he deadlifts like a monster, and I can't get to his numbers. I'm pretty sure it's because of my fucking literally this area.
Your core,
yeah, because my legs are strong. Well, not like back when I was lifting it, my legs were really strong, and my back was really strong, right? But like I couldn't complete a strong deadlift.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And I'm like 90% sure it was core. It was my core and lower back.
Damn.
And I was like, all right. And same with I kept on getting elbow injuries.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I don't know why I'm getting elbow injuries. And I was like, it's probably got to be my triceps and my shoulders. Like
the things that are connecting. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I don't like deadlift that much, but I know I have my lower back's pretty weak, so I gotta definitely work on that. It's because I just slouch all the time.
Yeah, you don't want to lift with your lower back, but like having that, because like you're tightening, like when you're doing any like lift proper, you're squeezing everything. Muscle in your body, right? And that's why people wear belts.
Yeah, so to help them like squeeze.
So they can push out and expand.
Yeah.
And that way their muscles like tighten, but also they're expanding out. So boom, it just gives you like something to brace against. Yeah. I know, I gotta get back into working out, but like
I feel like it would be easy for you to get back into it because you already started with doing like the soccer and like playing basketball.
Yeah, like though my whole metabolism is there. It's just a matter of I really hate doing gym workouts, like traditional, like conventional workouts. They're just so.
You got to do like Ninja Warrior stuff.
I'm thinking of just going into climbing again.
Oh yeah.
Just because like I said, I can't do boring stuff, dude. Like. In a sense, like some people find enjoyment out of it, or they'll find out. But for me, like just like standing around and just doing 10 reps, or done, little break, 10 reps again. Like at a certain point, I'm just like brain dead.
Yeah.
I'm just like I wish I could just do it in my sleep and just wake up and be like I'd wake up and be sore. I wouldn't mind that. But the fact that I'm just standing around, I'm very hyper.
Yeah. So you need stuff that
Like, give me those dumbbells. I'll walk like a lap while doing them. I'll have a lot more fun.
Yeah, you're not trying to wait to like get like a machine or like wait for the squat rack and all this shit. Yeah.
Also, I enjoy more functional workouts.
Yeah.
Because like I know like there are situations where we'll need to be like in not a bench press position, but like you'll need to like deadlift something.
Yeah.
That's like very functional. But like, I get to like. Survival. Like my brain goes to always like survival. Like
what would I need if worst case scenario?
Yeah, like if there was a bear chasing me and there was a wall I had to climb, can I climb it? Like hell yeah. You know what I mean? Like I'm a climber. I should be able to do it. But we'll scramble up that thing. I don't want to be the guy be like, just my brother's one of those guys. Because like we went climbing once and he was like, this is when he was not. He's still peaking on his fitness, but like he was like getting into like the later phases of reaching that like top peak. And I took him to the climbing gym, and he was trying to be like the Mr. Muscle guy there, because he looked the biggest there.
Yeah.
Just looked super solid until he climbed until he touched stone. Once he started touching the stone, he was like struggling because like all that muscle he had to carry, all of his muscles weren't functional. You know what I mean? In the sense of like in that aspect, in that principle,
Yeah, I know like some people, they definitely do workouts for whatever sport they're doing because that's what they care about. Like they just need their muscles to work for that specifically.
Right. People aren't trying to, like a lot of people who aren't like participating in athletics. Or like at least at a competitive level, right? They'll do it for the look of it or for like the mental health aspect of it, which is awesome. And I don't debunk that. But like you'll see like, again, for him, like if even now, I haven't been climbing for like a year now. Took a long break.
Yeah.
But like if we went to go to a climbing gym, I'd just out climbing any day of the week.
Yeah, because your body's built for like climbing. Yeah. Or just like that's why like basketball players aren't like hella big. Like
I was gonna say, and that's
like
why
KD's not like hella big. Yeah.
That's why you don't see athletes like real amazing athletes look like Adonises because they don't need it to be like a star athlete. Maybe like Tom Brady, if you see him outside of the pads, he just looks
like he's a regular ass dude. Yeah,
he look like a dad. You'll see like or then you'll see like UFC fighter.
Yeah, some of them still look like lean though, like UFC
fighters. Yeah, but like there's some that are like
huge,
shredded.
Yeah,
shredded lean, and they'll lose a lot.
Like Kamaru Usman or like
Yeah, well, Kamaru Usman's a good fighter.
Yeah,
there's a couple. Like Yoel. Yoel Silva, I think it is.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
but like. I mean, he's a great fighter too, but dude, he's super shredded and he'll take losses. Yeah. There's another guy. I want to say from, I don't know why I keep thinking Uganda or Ghana. It was definitely a place in Africa. But this guy was completely shredded. Like, he belonged in like a bodybuilding competition, right? Like one of those. And he would lose a lot of his fights, but he looked if you looked at him and his opponent, you'd be like, that guy's gonna take it if you didn't know anything about. Just based on looks alone. Like, that guy's going to win. He looks the shred. And then you'll see these guys like
you see like Daniel Cormier. He doesn't look like he's going to have the shape, but he's still like
but he'll freaking rock you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look at Daniel Cormier. Forrest Griffin, even though he's kind of got some build on
There's that one boxing dude too. Like, he's like from Mexico. He's kind of like bigger, but like he knocked out someone. I'm like, yeah, see, like just because you're ripped doesn't mean you're going to win these fights. Like,
yeah, exactly. There's a lot of Russian fighters are like that. They don't have like that toned six pack or anything.
Like, Khabib doesn't look like he's crazy jacked or anything, but he's super good.
But yeah, I'll have to point out to like a bunch of old school, like this is back in the early days of UFC when like they would take out from like all these like anything, right? It was like the baby of UFC. But there was a couple Russian fighters, and they didn't look like you know who Dolph Lundgren is, the guy from Rocky IV. The Russian guy from Rocky IV. Like how he was... Oh, okay. So he's like... In Rocky IV, he goes to Russia to fight like the best fighter, the best boxer in Russia. The guy's super shredded and everything like that. No, that's not like real fighters in Russia. Like, real fighters, they like had like I said, like the strongman gut. Yeah. And they just looked big and broad. You know, there was no like super toned muscles to them. They just had like the dead face though. They were like, I'm going to eat you. You know what I mean? They just look like monsters, dude. But they didn't look like, they looked more like a bear than they did like this shredded Adonis, you know?
Like some people like that, like they'll surprise you because they'll look a certain way, but then you're like, damn, this person can move pretty fast, or like it's because their body's just built for that like skill set or whatever.
Yeah, I played my soccer game on Wednesday. There was this dude, he was tall, he was big, like he was pretty big. You know, not like shredded, not fucking strong. Dude. Just pretty chunky. And like he was running with one of our players who's pretty fast, and he was outpacing him. I was like, what is? It took me by surprise for a second. It was like, oh, geez, he's got a free breakaway, like nothing, like he's got this. And I just see this guy just fucking wheeling right past him. I'm like, where did he come from?
Bruh, yeah. Like my roommate in college, he was like a little bit bigger. Like he was probably your brother's height, but like a little bit bigger and stuff. Mm-hmm. And like he raced my other roommate one day down to like street or whatever, and he won. I was like, bro, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, I used to play like goalie for soccer. I'm like, you used to play goalie for soccer? Don't you have to be like agile and shit? And he's like, yeah, but like that's how my body's built for. Mm-hmm. Like I'm like, damn, it's crazy.
I'm surprised. A lot of the goalies where I play at, they're all more on the bigger side too.
Damn.
And the same thing. They're all freaking just like diving into corners.
Yeah. Bro, this don't make no sense.
Yeah. I don't think that way. I'm just like, but they just have that surprise. So I'm like, okay, he's moving way, like he's very agile.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that I wasn't expecting it. It's just like I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's in goal. He's got to be decent. You know, and like, you'll see him dive. I'm like, whoa, he's better than decent.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. I was gonna segue that into something. Big players goal. You know what's another thing is like self-image. That's what I was gonna bring it to. Self-image, dude. I used to have a bad, even like in my best when I was looking solid, I used to have a bad self-image of myself. So like I didn't see myself as that big, and it took other people's comments to like. I had this one friend. He was shorter than me. He was pretty stocky. He was like 5. He's like about. He was a little taller than Chris's height. Okay. Probably like 5'6", 5'7".
Okay. So like Austin's height kind of.
Yeah, give or take. And he was pretty solid. You know, he was pretty jacked. He was like big.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell who was bigger, me or him. I never did that comparison though.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't care enough to until like I just brought this topic up. But like he was a workout, like, this is when I was in my EMT class. He was a workout junkie like me at the time.
Got it.
And I'd come into class with, like, my stringer tees. I'd just be coming from the gym. Literally, I'd go from the gym straight to class, right back to the gym. And, like, I'd come just, like, as I just left the gym. My stringer tees or, like, fucking, like, all my cutoffs.
Yeah.
And, like, they'll look at me and, like, dude, you're looking solid. And I wouldn't know. Because, like, I always had that image. I'm like, man, my arms can get bigger. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
My legs can get fucking stronger and bigger. Like, I always thought of, like, improvements. Yeah. It's like, dude, you're looking fucking solid. I'm like, yes. It's like when you go to the gym and, like, the biggest guy in the gym is like, fucking, you're looking good, bro.
Yeah,
you can't. Like, I don't know if they all are lying to you, but, it always feels good to hear that.
To get, like, words of encouragement.
The strongest, biggest guy just said that about me. Like, I must be doing something right.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I know, like, some people, like, who lift and stuff, they do have, like, body dysmorphia, or, like, they just think they're smaller than they are, like, whatever. But it's crazy.
Yeah. It happens a lot more than you think. Or, like, they just don't think that, like, they're at the...
They're not making the progress they want.
I need to get bigger, stronger. It's like, I mean... If that's what makes you happy, then yeah. But if, like, you're doing it and you're suffering through it, then no.
Yeah, like, I have a friend, he's always like, man, I'm super skinny. And I'm like, bro, you're bigger than me. Like, I think I'm skinny, so what the fuck?
Yeah, but that's the hard part, too, and my family's kind of guilty of it. But I was, like, I'm, like, at 150 now. I cut down a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Not intentionally, but, like, now it's become intentional.
Yeah.
At a certain point. But, like, I was at, like, 185, 190 at one point. Pretty big. At one point it was kind of unhealthy because I was like, I was trying to bulk up. Yeah. And then I was going to cut back down to like 175, 180. And so, I was just working out and everyone saw me. And this is when I was like posting actual images of myself on Instagram. Not like workout images. Like I was okay to show myself. And like once COVID hit and I started taking a break from working out and exercising because I just needed a break from it. And it became injury break. So then, I slimmed down a lot. Everyone who saw me personally was like, oh, you're looking smaller than you usually do. It became kind of like a self-conscious thing. I was like, fuck, dude. Like, man, now I need to start working out again. And then I got to that point where I was like, I don't care. I was like, you know what? For what I'm trying to do, I actually need to be lighter.
Yeah, to like climb, you don't want to carry.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I carry. Because when I did the Ninja Warrior thing, I was like 180. And a lot of people who do it, who are on the show, they sit around 160. Yeah. Unless you're like if you're above like 6 foot high and higher, like you'll start putting on a little more pounds. Yeah. But then again, you should be a little stronger. But to be most successful, like you gotta stay light. Like I saw this climbing principle. It was like it's easier to climb less weight than it is to gain more strength to climb, which is kind of true, dude. Like. I'd rather carry honestly, I'd rather carry 150 climbing
180
than fucking struggle to strengthen up to carry 190 all the time. Yeah. Like, fuck. And that's my goal. It's not to fucking be like Mr. Strong, big guy.
Yeah, it's to just win the competition.
Yeah, it's just to fucking compete and do well. I was like, that's not the reason why I didn't do well. I won't say that.
Yeah, but it's definitely a factor.
But like, if I had slimmed down, I probably had a better chance. Yeah. Probably one of the factors that could have made me proceed even further.
Yeah, I'm sure like people notice when they try to do pull-ups, if they're like super heavy, it's super hard. Yeah. But then like if they cut down some weight, it just becomes easier.
It becomes so easy.
Or like even if you're jumping or trying to dunk, like when you weigh more, it's just harder to get off the ground than when you weigh less.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
And it takes a long time to try to build the muscle or whatever to do the pull-up versus let me just lose some weight. Like
it's and like I said, it's like all that like the strength. Once you get to a point, your strength like coefficient, I'll say, like gets smaller the more you work out. Yeah. Right. Like they say it all the time. Like in your first year, you'll gain a shit ton of like muscle and
but then you
strength.
Hit the plateau. Yeah.
Yeah, because like your body was never at its strongest and was never going through that change anyways. Yeah. And once it gets used to it, it's like boom, and then it's like okay, now smaller. It's a little bit, and then you get to like year 4, 5, 6, it's tiny.
Yeah. It's like people who do like track and field, like when you first start, you might be able to cut your time down by a couple of seconds, but once you start getting to like Olympic level, like getting like it's even like it's like so hard to drop your times.
Yeah, going from 10 seconds to 9 seconds is ridiculous. Yeah. Instead of going from like 20 seconds on 100 meter, going from 20 to
like
15.
12. Yeah.
Like yeah. Well, it shows even like in lifts, right? People are like they'll like 135, and then next like a few months later they'll hit like 185, and then maybe a few months later they'll hit 225.
Yeah.
Then they'll get to a point where I'll be like, okay, like for like 6 months or so, all right, I'm gonna try and hit 230.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like a 50-pound gap anymore. It's like, okay,
let me just try and do this weight like
can
consistent.
I do 5 more pounds?
Yeah.
Can I do 5 more pounds? Can I do 2.5 more pounds? Can I do 1 more? Can I hit one? Can I hit 230 or 226? I mean, usually depending on the body type of the person. All right, that's just an example. Like for him, I don't know. I'm going to speculate his numbers because it's been a minute since we talked about it. But like, I think he's at like 275 bench.
Yeah.
And like getting to 280 is like not impossible, but like it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute, and then he has to maintain like his weight and everything like that. Because it works in reverse too.
Yeah, like
you
if you don't
too
do
much weight, then you also lose a little bit of strength at the
Yeah.
same time. It's just like you won't. You know, you can lose like 20 pounds and still lift at 275, but it might slip down to 265 instead of like the reverse where you know you're doing a pull up. You can do 10 pull ups at 155 weight.
Yeah.
You get to 185, and now you're not doing 10. You're doing like 4.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not because like. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As an example. That's what I noticed. And that's why I train the way all the time. I'll put extra weight. I have a weight vest. Right there.
Yeah.
I'll put the 45 on and I'll just do a bunch of exercises with it. I'll take it off, go out, like, you know, rest up a day or two, and then I'll just it just feels like I'm a feather.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. Or I'll do that like right before a competition. Like literally, I'll like to warm up, I'll throw the vest on for a few minutes and I'll climb the wall just like easy. No, I don't want to like
I'm
not trying to like kill myself on it, but I'll climb the wall just a bit, just to make it feel like a challenge. Then when I
once you take the weight off, you just feel super light.
I'm flying.
Yeah.
I'm like this move that I thought was really hard, for some reason I can just get it very easy now.
Yeah.
You know, I need to get back into the climbing gym.
A lot of our friends climb. You should go hit them up, bro.
Yeah, I should. Well, now that Kendall's in San Fran, dude, they have a really nice climbing gym there.
They have they also have like a bunch of American Ninja stuff, like
Ninja
Warriors.
They do
like
Concord too, but like, dude, I'm not gonna be there every day.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay that like
a bunch of money.
I don't want to pay that like monthly just to go there once a week. You know what I mean? Even if it covers.
I would pay to see Kendall climb though. Like not climb myself. I just pay to see him do it.
Yeah.
Like we don't give him any advice. Just be like, all right, bro, go.
Well, every time I did that, like my first day climbing was funny. I was just like,
oh yeah, you told me, yeah.
I would just scramble up the wall. I would just be boom, 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 and that's
like
how you should start.
Yeah.
Like just have fun with it. You know, I just scramble like nothing. Like it wasn't like I'm doing any routes or anything. I just scramble up the wall just to get that comfort of like grabbing rocks and like, feeling. You know, I just wanted to hit the top. That was like my goal. I'm gonna hit the top. Bam, hit the top. All right, I'll go to this side. Hit the top. Bam. It's too easy. And then I'd learn and be like, oh, the colors are all coordinated, so I can only touch pink. All right. And then I'd fall the fuck off. I'm like, oh, shit, this is real climbing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then you're like, now there's like, you have to use some logic on like, how am I going to do this? And
yeah, that's the beauty of climbing, too. That's what I love about climbing. It's like, it's you versus the wall. You're not fighting anyone else. You're not competing with anyone else. It's you versus the wall. And anyone can really do it. The route setters who are, you know, usually are like near pro climbers to a degree, like they can climb at ridiculous levels. They set the route so that like 90% of the people who have the abilities can do it, in the sense of like, all right, like if you're doing a V8 or V9, like you have to be fucking strong.
Yeah.
Like there's like a prerequisite for like, in a sense, like unwritten prerequisites for each climbing level. But in a sense, like you could be like 5'2", you could be 6'2", and you should be able to do it. And there's a way to get through it.
For
it's
your
not
specific body,
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I'm too short, I can't reach. It's impossible. No, like every route is like doable for
every type.
The height of this to this.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no restriction except for like, are you strong enough to do it? And
have you trained enough?
Yeah. Is your body like wall capable?
Yeah.
There's something weird though. There's a Good Planet Granite, right? That's the one I've been going to lately.
Okay.
So I go to the one in Santa Clara. It's the closest one.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just don't like the vibe there. I don't know why.
Like the energy of the people there?
It's just the energy of that whole atmosphere. Like, it's a cool place. It's super awesome.
Yeah.
But once I hit the walls, I feel like drained. Like, I just feel like it's not my, like...
It's not hype enough or something?
I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that I'm not climbing with people, but I used to go to my other gym in Arizona and I didn't climb.
Maybe you should just try and go with some of our friends and see if it's like a difference.
I think that's the thing. I need to climb with people.
Yeah. I know Austin climbs.
Motivated with climbers. Like, because like climbers have such good attitude. You fall off and they're like, dude, you could have got that one. Even though you couldn't. They'll hype you up any day of the week. Like, that one was a tough one. But dude, if it becomes like I said, it's always a puzzle. That's why they call them problems. Like, it's literally called a problem. So you'll fall down and you have people like visualizing and analyzing for you.
Like what you messed up on.
Yeah. Maybe if you put your right foot, maybe if you toe hooked, maybe if you flagged, you'd be like, oh, maybe I'll try that. You'll hop up back on the wall, get to that point where you fell off, and you're like, that didn't work. Or, that felt a little better. That was a little more comfortable. Doing it by yourself
it's hard.
It's
you don't have another set of eyes helping you out.
And I'm not the guy to be like, I need to go with someone to do things. Like,
you gotta be able to do shit. Yeah,
it's just a lot
easier.
Yeah, it's a lot easier, and like having multiple people accomplish the same problem, or like when you have. And that's another problem. I used to hang out with people who would be like doing V10s, and I could do like maybe a V4 or 5 at the time.
Yeah,
and they're like, and it's just like, it's not demotivating. I'm more motivated to do it, but it just became a thing of like, I don't even know how to help this guy.
Yeah.
And the same thing. He's like, because his brain's wired so differently. He's like, you just wanna make that big reach. I'm like, I'm not strong enough to make that big reach.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about it a different way.
like this doesn't apply to where I'm at right now. Yeah.
And me and my cousin used to run into that issue too. We climbed at the same level at one point, but he was like, I'm 5'10". He was like, he's 5'2".
Oh,
he's
damn.
Like inches shorter. So I would do that. I'd be like, yeah, you just reach for that. And he'll try. And he's like a good 2 inches off, 3 inches off. And he's like, nope, that's not it. But he's more flexible than me. He's like, I'm just going to put my foot up here. And he'll just be like, oh, there we go. I got it. But then I could do it. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, well, that wasn't looking too awkward. Let me try. And I'll do the same thing. I'm like, ooh, that did feel better.
Yeah.
Instead of doing the awkward reach and stretch. And I'm like literally on my tippy toes, like crimping, and holding my breath,
like holding on for dear life.
Yeah, I'm like this. I'm like, okay, slowly.
Like made it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Seeing other people do it kind of helps you look at I could try this or try that, and
I think that's kind of the problem too. Is the wall. The problems I'm doing are not creative as much. Like I used to go to the one in San Jose. The one right where the movie theater is, on the old movie theater. It's in downtown.
Oh, yeah.
It's called The Studio.
Okay.
And theirs wasn't as difficult, but it was so much more creative. Like, you'd be like, okay, I got a match here. And then toe hook. You'd be like, toe hook, behind here. Now I'm flagging.
Yeah.
It's like you're dancing on the wall. At the other place,
it's just
that's probably one of the bigger things. Because I love that aspect, where it's not all strength.
Yeah.
You're like, muscle,
it requires
muscle,
different
muscle,
stuff.
Muscle. You're just like, okay, I can put my hand here, and if I just press here, and then I'll fucking flag my left foot and toe hook. Now I feel comfortable. I can relax not real quick, but I could take this hand off and feel decent. And boom, move this hand here. All right, now match. You know what I mean? There's more creativity to it.
Yeah.
The one in San Francisco is part of the one I go to now, and I can go there.
Okay.
That one's amazing.
Did you go see it when you went?
Yeah, the one time I went, Alex Honnold was there. You know who Alex
Honnold is? I don't.
So Alex Honnold, he's the guy who's known for free soloing.
Yeah.
So that means you don't climb. You'll climb these literally mountains, these surfaces, without any gear.
Oh, damn.
It's just your shoes and your chalk bag. That's it. Right, and these are the things where you fall, you die.
Yeah.
And he'll do this he's had a few documentaries. He did El Capitan in Yosemite.
Yeah.
That's one of his most famous ones. He does a couple in Yosemite that have documentaries. But yeah, he does that crazy shit that no one will ever thought of doing.
Damn.
Yeah, so he's that guy. I got to meet him there. That's why me and my cousin went out there.
Oh, yeah.
But we got there early because we wanted to climb. We both had the same work schedule, so we got off at right at that day. I think we got off at 12, noon o'clock.
Noon o'clock.
We got off at noon, and we just made our way straight to San Francisco to go climbing before we wanted to go to, because it was a little meet and greet thing.
Yeah.
So there was a line of people. we wanted to beat the line, but we low-key didn't care at that point. We just wanted to climb. We got there to meet Alex Honnold, and it turned into like...
He's just climbing.
Hey, like, I don't know what I'd say to him. Like, hey, good job climbing. I don't have any questions for you. I'm just gonna... Climb. So we just climbed, and then we just... Because, like, there's like they had like... All the staff was like kind of monitoring shit and making sure like the line was like formed. Me and my cousin just stood next to him. Like he was like maybe like where that door is.
Yeah.
Facing that way. And me and him would just like time our photos. Like we would be assholes or idiots and just be like, Alex! And he'd turn this way, take the picture real quick so it looks like he's like looking in our direction, hanging out with us. Because like I opened my body up to him like this. And I just throw one of these. And he's right there, and we say his name. And just his head would turn, because his whole body's facing, talking to the people. His head would turn, we just take the picture real quick, like, hey, we met him. We did it, we met him. But they had this cool wall. So, like, you see how this, like a staircase here.
Yeah.
Right, you could climb up, or you could take the staircase to the bouldering area. But right next to it, like here, there's a climbing wall where you can climb your way up to the bouldering wall. And that'd be some of the problems. You'd be like at the very bottom, that was like a V10.
Yeah.
You start like halfway up, V8, further up, V5, and then you get to the regular wall. It's like a bunch of other problems.
Yeah.
So that was sick. Because you're literally like, it's a lot of incline, which was really like the most strenuous climbing. But it was like, it's so fun how they created that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, they're creative about it and they like mixed in different levels. So it's not just.
It was just very like, it's just so amazing. So like it's like do I stick with that one because I can go out to that San Francisco one, not free, but like my membership gets me in there for free.
Yeah.
Or do I go to my old one, the one at the studio in San Jose, where I was like more creative, and I don't know if I want to keep going out to downtown San Jose either.
Yeah. So. I mean, I guess like whenever we go visit Kendall and stuff, you just like go like climb and stuff before.
That's what I was saying. It's like it gives me incentive to hang out with Kendall and like take a detour to go climbing.
Yeah.
Hey, you're gonna be done at 6? All right, I'm going climbing.
Yeah, like I know Austin and Elle climb, but I don't know what level.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the level. Yeah. Like I hung out with people who climbed like a few levels below me, and like they caught up because we all hung out and like
they just got better. Yeah,
I would progress a little, and they progress a lot because
they're starting
but because like we had all eyes on. Oh, dude, if you did that, and it's just a lot of fun because then you can like belay.
Yeah.
So you climb the bigger walls, and you have someone to rope you up. And the same thing, my friends were very like enthusiastic all the time. Like I'll do this move, they couldn't do.
Yeah.
They're like it's a dyno is like where you kind of jump off the rocks, and, like you catch something above you or in the direction you're jumping. And there's this move literally on one of the things where you have to kind of dyno, and no one could do it. And I was like, all right. Let me do it. I'm gonna do this, and I fucking nailed it. And I just hear behind me, I was like, those are the
just
people
super hype. Yeah.
I was like, those are the people.
Like they want you to succeed and shit. Yeah. I feel that.
That's the attitude we need.
Like keep pushing people like further to like realize what they could do.
Exactly. Because like I don't know, I respond better to positive reinforcement. Like
I think most people do. Very few people respond to negative stuff.
I've been learning to. I actually kind of used to like it. Like I wish that people doubted me, so I could just prove them wrong. I love that part of it, but like also positive reinforcement. I mean, it goes both ways, right? You get too much positive reinforcement, it starts getting like washed up, and you're like, all right, you're just saying that to say that.
Yeah, like I would have like coaches just be like super on me all the time, and it's cool because you're like, okay, they care. At least they want me to get better. Yeah. But sometimes like, how come I don't get any positive reinforcement? Like when I make a shot or something, like, oh, keep shooting those or something like that. Like, bruh.
That was my coach a little bit until after the game. He would like, and it kind of messed with me because I couldn't adjust to it well at the time. I wasn't like completely good with negative reinforcement back in the day. Yeah. But he would be like, hey, I could do everything right, and the one thing I did wrong, he'd just be like, come on! Yeah. And you're like, oh shit. And then I'd start spiraling. I'd start making another mistake. I'm like, fuck. Okay, how do I, I'd just start panic mode. My brain, my overthinking literally take me to like a panic room.
Yeah, you're like, trying to fix one problem, you're starting other ones. Okay,
now exactly. And then after the game, we'd be like, you fucking did awesome. And I'm like, yes. And then like 10 minutes later, like, you know how we could work on those little things, right? I'm like, yeah. So like he found like a kind of good way, and like I said, it taught me how to deal with negative reinforcement.
Yeah.
Because like again, the biggest problem is yourself in that whole scenario. Because like
you're just in
you
your
make
head.
one mistake, it's gonna bound to be happen. It's just how you react to like
don't let it spiral.
The outside forces of someone yelling at you. Like, it's like in the sense like if I took it better and been like. He just knows I could have done that better. You know what I mean? Then all right, I'll step up.
Like half the time, you already know what you did wrong. So
exactly.
Yeah. You just gotta
right on that guy. I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
And from then point on, I'm never leaving that guy's side now.
Yeah. It like I mean, for some people, I like the negative reinforcement definitely helps them. Like you see videos of coaches like yelling at some dude. And like they get super amped up and motivated, and they like make a big play.
Yeah.
But then you see other dudes, the coaches like yelling at them, and you can see they're checked out of the game, bro. Like they're like not about to do nothing.
Yeah. But again, it always starts with the player.
Yeah.
Like, if they checked out already, they've checked out for like a good 5 minutes before that.
Yeah.
When the coach is yelling, he's not going to do anything for it. Instant. So what it means to be a good coach is you got to know your players.
Yeah. Or like even just a good teacher or like a parent. Like you got to know whoever you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And, like how to like.
Even when we play, like Jeremy had like his first few games, his shot was off, and everyone was like, "Just keep shooting."
Yeah, because everyone knows he's gonna make it.
Because everyone knows he's a shooter.
Yeah.
Like right, like if you're not gonna even like Kobe, I mean Wayne Gretzky says it too. Like you miss 100% of the shots
you don't
take.
take. Yeah.
But even Kobe, I think it was Kobe. I want to say it was some basketball player who was like a good shooter. He's like, maybe it was Jordan. Like if I'm having a cold day, I'm gonna keep shooting.
Yeah.
Because I can't break out of my cold day if I don't shoot.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's true. Like it'll get hot
eventually.
Yeah. You know, like I don't know. You see NBA, and I feel like people worry about statistics too much. Like, he went over.
I feel that's why I like Russ because he just don't care. He's just like I'm gonna just go out there and give it 110%, and whatever happens.
Yeah.
Like,
and this is just a made up example, but like Steph Curry could shoot 13 threes and miss 40, and it'll be like, like look at his percentage.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, but he made 39 points.
Yeah.
Like he just balled out. What do you mean? Yeah.
But people just want to focus on what you didn't do.
Yeah. You just want the numbers look small. Like,
yeah.
But dude, he fucking just made up 39 points in 13 shots.
Yeah.
It's literally like, I mean, basketball games go up to like 110 points now. That's literally like a third or a quarter of the fucking points. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's like, dude drops 40 points. He didn't do enough for his team. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, what are you talking about? What? He was shooting too much. Like
Brent Smith got a shooter. Yeah. Or like, oh, well, everyone else was cold. Who else was going to shoot? Like, like, this don't make no sense.
Yeah.
But.
That's why I like ESPN because it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like the numbers a little bit sometimes. At the same time, like they take it a step too far. Like if you ever see I'll see like some weird ass random baseball statistic. That was the first home run in this field since
I'm like, who's doing these stats, bro? Like
in the postseason. And you're like, what? Like how do you figure these out?
Like, bro,
you know what I
mean?
Yeah. Like, is there some guy? Is there like 25 people just looking at stuff? Oh, dude, no lines up. Dude, that was the first 3-pointer in this game during postseason on Game 7 when they were down 3-2. Like, who cares?
Like I saw a stat like last week when like the Bucks won. They were like, "Oh, this is Tom Brady's 24th comeback victory when down."
Yeah,
like with 2 minutes left, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
You'll see some random shit. No, the statistic fits like the description instead of the other way around. Right?
Yeah.
Like, well, this is the first time that they came back from and it's just some random number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like not a touchdown deficit, but more than 20-point deficit.
Yeah, I'm like,
dude, what? Who cares? Like, why you gotta make it so?
I'm like, why you?
Or
guys
like,
got
if
so
it doesn't,
much time?
if it isn't the first time, like at Bucks or away, first time away, first time home. Like, God damn, like we don't need all these stats.
We're reaching for it at like half of these, bro. Like, damn.
Hey, how many fun facts do you want to give? Hey, do you know that?
Yeah, they really are.
Did you know last game was the first time the Bucks made? You're like,
yeah.
Who cares? That's gonna be more of like a Trivial Pursuit question, you know?
Yeah,
like
I feel like the players don't even know. Like Tom Brady probably doesn't even know. He doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, I'm trying to win this game.
I don't think any player. I don't know any players who've been like, yeah, dude, that was my first touchdown I scored since.
Yeah.
Since like away fucking since 2015 in Cardinal Stadium. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like Tom probably knows, like, oh, I've had a bunch of comeback wins, but he probably doesn't know the number.
But Tom Brady just goes, I've thrown a lot of touchdown passes, I've thrown a lot of interception passes. I've won a good amount of games, I won a few bowls.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's like, and I'm just trying to win another one.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think any quarterback goes like, yeah, I'd probably do 400 yards. No one gives a. Really, the biggest thing they want is the dub. You know what I mean? They're like, did we win? No. All right. Well, we fucking. Tom Brady, you just threw 500 yards and you didn't, and fucking got 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. Great job, but we didn't win. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Or they're like, how does it feel to have 70 points in the game? We didn't even win the game, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Like, embarrassing because we lost. You know, like.
And then they're like, are you sure it doesn't mean anything? Like, yeah, bro, we lost the game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the biggest thing is the dub. Like, if you're playing like on a real team, like, you want the dub. Nothing else matters except for the win, and then everything else falls into line after that. But at that time, you're thinking about the next game.
Yeah.
Or you should be.
Like yesterday, I was like, I didn't even score, but our team was winning. I was like, at least we're winning, bro. Fuck it.
Right. Well, that was me too, because I'm not a huge scorer. But I was like, dude, I'm getting all the rebounds.
Yeah.
I was like, we're getting a lot of boards. And fucking, I'll just keep like, that was my thing. I was like, I'm just gonna keep passing to Jeremy.
Yeah.
Fucking rebound. Fucking dribble, draw people in. Jeremy, fucking make it.
Yeah.
I kept yelling at him about that. I would like pass it to him. I'd already be right back because he shot it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's going in.
It hit the rim. I'm like, fuck. Jeremy, you're making me look like a fool.
I saw him on one of them. He shot and he turned around. I was like, you ain't step, and it didn't go in. I was like, damn, right?
I do that too on defense. I'll be like, that's not going in. And like, it'll go in. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I think someone said that when I hit my one shot yesterday. They're like, it's not going in. It goes in. They're like, wow.
Well, that last game, every time I called it, I mean, it was obvious. Though. Everyone was getting sloppy tired.
Yeah, bro.
I was like, it's off. But yeah, I mean, let's just recap the topics we talked about. Like, we talked about, how did we even start?
We started with like the sports injuries and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about sports injuries. And
then like overthinking.
We talked about a lot of things.
Overthinking.
I like that we came back to sports. So we did a full circle. It took us a while.
We did some like mental health stuff, like therapy or whatever.
Friend groups. We talked about a lot of exercising, sports,
rock climbing, lifting.
A little bit of philosophy in there. Yeah, we talked about a lot of things in this out of the box episode.
I feel a lot of useful stuff that like actually pertains to people's like regular lives and stuff. So
just felt good. I don't know. It just felt like a very smooth conversation too.
Yeah. And like pretty relevant because we started with like sports and stuff, and then like like we've been playing a lot. So
shit. All right, but thank you for tuning in. This was your boy Maui,
and this is Bambi,
and we are
Couch Surfing.
Peace.